Alright guys, today we're doing a Bellona guide, giving you a build, and on top of that, breaking down the abilities for Bellona. So if you like this type of content, please like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get into it. Alright guys, let's talk about Bellona's passive Master of War. Upon giving or receiving hits from basic attacks, Bellona gains protections, and you gain movement speed for 7 seconds. This can stack up to 5 protections per stack, and also 3% movement speed per stack, giving you an extra 15% movement speed and 25 protections of both physical and magical for 7 seconds for just basic attacking or getting hit by basics. That's pretty good. Let's move on to her one. Alright guys, let's talk about Bellona's one. Now it's a cone attack. When you dash forward, it slows your enemies by 20%. Now every time you basic attack, every third basic attack with your shield out, you will gain a stack that is called block stack. Now that's block stack. Anytime you get hit with a basic attack, it will reflect damage in the area around you by 30%, which is kind of nuts. Also, you will notice that my passive meter on the left side of my screen, when it goes out, my abilities go away. So if you don't attack or do anything or take damage from basic attacks, the ability will go away. Alright guys, there's two parts of Bellona's too. And well, there's the spin and the slam. The spin is a wide AoE, and the slam is a thin line attack. Now with that thin line attack, the more enemy gods you hit, you'll be doing 25% more damage, which is kind of nuts at the same time. Now the only downside to your hammer is when you're using your hammer, it hits super hard. So you only take 33% of your maximum lifesteal through your basics, which sucks, and that's just tough. But at the same time, it would be kind of OP if you could just hit really hard and just infinitely lifesteal. Let's talk about Bellona's 3. This thing is kind of nuts. It disarms enemies when you hit the line attack. That means they cannot basic attack for, at max rank, 2.2 seconds. So a hunter is basically screwed. Any basic attack oriented character is just in a really tough spot. Now, also, every third basic attack, you'll see this green little aura thing around me. I'm healing for 45. Now, pair that with some lifesteal. It's kind of nuts. Also, my range for my basic attacks have increased by a bunch with this whip form. Alright guys, let's talk about Bellona's 4. Now, it's a flag. You jump and throw down a flag. If you hit the inner smaller circle, you stun for 1.25 seconds. Also, it deals quite a bit of damage. Now, you see the bigger circle, that gives you increased protections. It also gives your teammates increased protections, both physical and magical, by 35. It also increases their physical power by 60 and your magical power for 75, which is pretty nuts. Also, the duration is 8 seconds, and this also increases your physical power because you don't do magical. But this is pretty nuts. You throw this down in the middle of a team fight, you throw in some abilities. This is pretty crazy. You could dish out a lot of damage with your team for 8 whole seconds. Pair this with like Frenzy, you'll be doing some crazy damage. Let's move on to how you should level your ability. The thing you want to max on Bellona is her 2. Huge damage. I don't even think I need an explanation. The amount of damage you'll be doing when you hit your hammer is ridiculous. Also, you deal a ton of damage with these basics. Of course, we don't have any items, but with items, you will be slapping. Increased your 3 is the next you want to max. You want to put any points you can into your ultimate as you can, and then you want to max your 1 for last. Here's the build. If you do not like the build, feel free to change it up, add items as you see fit. Now, War Flags, good starter item if you want to be more tanky. Death's Toll gives you HP and mana back every time you basic attack. Really good because Bellona is a basic attack-oriented character. Mannequin Scepter does more damage when you basic attack. Pretty good item. You could do Bumba's Dagger if you're playing duel, but that's kind of up to you. Now, I like Death's Toll if you're playing Slash or Conquest. That's a good item. Moving on to Berserker's Shield is my next item I really like to build because it gives you physical power, physical protections, attack speed, which is what you want because you're going to be basic attacking a lot, and 15 HP 5, which isn't great, but it isn't terrible at the same time. It's something you would want. Now, this can only be built on assassins and warriors, so you cannot build this on a hunter, which kind of sucks, but at the same time, it'd be kind of OP. Now, Berserker's Shield, when you get lower than 40% health, you go into Berserk mode for 5 seconds. You'll deal more damage in this Berserk mode. Also, you'll have more damage mitigation for 7%. So you have 7% damage mitigation. And this can only happen every 15 seconds. Next item I like to build, which gives you some magical protections. Also, its passive gives you and your allies increased attack speed by 30%. With 2 items, our basic attack speed is quite insane. This is kind of nuts. Alright, this also gives you cooldowns. MP5, a decent bit of health, magical protections, things you're going to want. Next item I really like to build, boys, is Frostbound Hammer. 250 health. Nice, alright? Good chunk of HP. Also, 25 physical power. Really good, okay? Enemies hit by your basic attacks have their movement speed reduced by 25%. Any people trying to run away from you instantly have a harder time. If enemies are getting away from you, throw this on, and boom, they will not get away from you. Alright, now this lowers ranged basic attacks for like hunters and some mages by 15%, and also it has their attack speed for any other characters that don't hit you with ranged basic attacks by 20% for 1.25 seconds. That's the slow and the reduced attack speed. It's a pretty good item. Next item I like to get is Stone Cutting. Gives you some movement speed, so you could run down people more, and some physical power. Really good item. Anytime you basic attack, you decrease the enemy's protections by 7 and increase your physical protections by 5 for 3 seconds, and it stacks for 3, so you could get an extra 15 physical protections for just basic attacking, and that's it. Now, I like to go Toxic Blade. Any characters like Anubis, Aphrodite, Sylvanas, any healing characters, this is a good item for them. It gives you 100 health, gives you some physical, or penetration, excuse me. It gives you attack speed by 30%, also increases your movement speed by 7%, and anytime you basic attack an enemy god, it reduces their healing by 20%, and it stacks up to 3 times, so you could have a 60% reduced healing for 6 seconds. Other items you could throw on your Bellona. Talisman of Energy is really good item. Bulwark of Hope's a good item. Stone of Gaia is really good. Any basic attack oriented anything is really good on Bellona. Also, I forgot, but Death's Embrace is a really good, probably the best Death's Toll for Bellona, just because it gives you a large amount of health every time you basic attack. Also, there's a lot of magical power. I'm going to start building Death's Toll on my mages. But, guys, if you like this type of content, please like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys later.